Welcome to the fourth part of research methodology. In this class, I am going to present the concept of social research and the phases of social science research. What do you mean by social research? Social science deals with the study of society and the relationship among individuals within society. So, social science is the study about society and the relationship among individuals within a society. Social science is involved everywhere, starting from healthcare sector to business world. It includes subjects such as history, geography, sociology, commerce, economics, etc. All these subjects are social sciences. Then, in simple words, we can say that research in social science is called social research. It is the scientific investigation conducted in the field of social and behavioral sciences. Behavioral science include those subjects such as psychology. Discovering some facts concealed in a social phenomena or some law governing it. Social research is the discovery of some facts which was concealed in a social phenomena or some law governing these social phenomena. Scientific methods are applied in social research for understanding, studying, and analyzing the social life. So, through social research, we are trying to understand, study, and analyze the social life of human beings. Then objectives of social research are to develop new theories and to modify, correct, and verify the existing knowledge. So the objective of a social research may be the development of a new theory or the modification of an existing theory or to correct and verify an existing knowledge or theory. Then significance of research in social science. First one, it is the source of knowledge. It gives knowledge to the researcher and the society about unknown facts. Social research gives us knowledge about unknown facts in the society. Second one, it provides updated information. Since the social research is conducted continuously and repeatedly, this type of research are conducted by different researchers to verify whether the existing knowledge is correct or to be modified. Then it provides updated information. Then it is helpful for social planning. That means social planning by the government is based on social research. Social planning is done not only by the government but also other agencies. All these social planning activities are based on social research conducted by government or any other organizations. Then solution to social problems. Social research finds the causes of social issues and problems and provide a solution. So social research tries to find the causes of social problems and thereby these social research can answer or social research can find solution to these problems. Next point, helpful for structural changes in social life. That means development in social life is the outcome of social science research. We have developed in almost all areas of our life because of the outcomes of social science research. Then social welfare. Social evils can be removed from society and social welfare is ensured through social science research. So number of social science research revealed the social evils in the society, and these evils can be removed through the recommendations of the social science research. Then social prediction and social control. Social research is helpful to predict the future events in the society and thereby to control society through proper laws and regulations. The laws and regulations in the society are based on the outcomes of social science research. Then helpful for business. Business is the one of the most important beneficiary of social science research. It is helpful for business to study about market, customers, employees, financial efficiency, etc. Business needs research in various areas of business such as product development, market development, then market analysis, the analysis of the needs and wants of consumers, analysis of the behavior of consumers, then analysis of the motivation of employees, then financial efficiency, etc. So social science research helps business to study about all these elements in business. Then it enhances innovation and creativity. Social science research helps to discover and offer something new into the society. All the innovations in society are based on social science research. It contributes to health and education sector. That means findings of many social science studies contribute to the development of health and education sector. The development in health sector, that means in hospital and medical care sector, then the education sector. All these are based on the outcomes of social science research. Then growth and development of the society. The ultimate aim of every social science research is the welfare and development of the society. Each and every social science research must have a social value. That means it must be beneficial to the society. What are the limitations of social science research, or what are the difficulties in conducting social research? Social data is based on human behavior, which is highly complex and confusing. Human behavior is highly complex and confusing, and the social science research tries to analyze this human behavior, and therefore the social science research is also very complex and confusing. It is very difficult to establish cause and effect relationship. In social science research, it is very difficult to analyze the causes of a problem, and also it is very difficult to establish cause and effect relationship. That means the cause and impact relationship. Then social phenomena is dynamic and changing. A single research is not sufficient to reveal a social phenomena because the social phenomena is changing. Then subject to prejudices and bias of the researcher. Social science may be, or social science research may be influenced by the prejudices and bias of the researcher in some extent. Then social events are non-repetitive or difficult to verify. One of the most important requisite of a research is the replicability, but this replicability is not possible in social science research. In some of the social science events are non-repetitive. That means it is very difficult to verify the findings of this research by another researcher by following the same procedure and methods. Then problems of collecting information. That means human beings are reluctant to disclose information. So it is very difficult to collect information from human beings. The next topic is the research process or phases of research, or in other words, the steps in a research process. Let me start from the word research process. Research is a systematic process which involves number of steps. Research is systematic, which involves predetermined steps and procedures. There are some variations in the sequence of these steps suggested by different writers, but there is much similarity among their suggestions. Number of writers in research methodology suggested different steps for research, but there is much similarity among their suggestions. The process is not truly linear, moving from one step to another in an order. All the steps suggested by these writers are not the same in every research methodology. This process is not truly linear. That means we can't follow an exact procedure in all types of research. It may be changed in different types of research. The order of some steps may be changed, some steps may be avoided, and some steps may carried on simultaneously. That means some steps may be changed. That means some steps needs modification in certain types of research. Some steps are not required in certain types of research, and some steps may carried on simultaneously in certain types of research. Then some of these steps may be covered quickly and some others may require longer time. Some of these steps can be covered within a short span of time, and some of these steps may require longer time. That means months and years. Then steps in research process. These are the comprehensive classification of the steps in research process, which is prepared on the basis of the suggestions of different experts in the field. First one, tentative selection of the area or research problem. Initial survey of literature. Finalization of research problem and topic. Formulation of the problem. Extensive literature survey. Formulation of hypothesis. Preparation of research design. Preparation of sample design, collection of data and execution of the project, analysis of data, testing hypothesis, generalization and interpretation, and preparation of research report or thesis. First one, tentative selection of the area or problem. The term problem means a question to be answered or an issue to be examined. It is the question to be answered or an issue in the society to be examined and solved. First of all, the researcher has to select a problem or area of study. In case of government organizations, it is suggested by the administrators or policy makers. Then in case of research scholars, it is to be selected in consultation with the guide. In case of research scholar, the problem is to be selected by the research scholar, but it is to be finalized in consultation with the guide or supervising teacher. If the study is for a sponsoring agency, they will suggest problems. In business research, it may be sponsored by some business or agency. In such case, the problem will be suggested by the sponsoring agency. The researcher has to discuss the problem with his friends, colleagues, experts, etc. to develop the problem in detail. Then the main sources of the topics are literature, seminars, field visit, internship, experiences, medias, etc. We will get the topics of research from the literature, seminars, field visit, internship, experiences, medias, etc. Second step is initial survey of literature. After selecting the problem, the researcher is required to go through the relevant literature to bring out a frame of reference to the work. That means after selecting a problem tentatively, the researcher has to review the literature. This initial review of literature is required to understand more about the topic. It is the base for every research. So before starting the research, we have to understand the concept involved in the topic. We have to analyze the scope of the topic, etc. Then he should review two types of literature. First one, the conceptual literature. It is the literature explaining the concept and theories. That means we have to review the books, websites, etc. to understand the concepts involved in the topic. Then the empirical research. That means studies made earlier in the topic or related topic. That means we have to review the articles, the other studies conducted by the researchers, etc. Third step, finalization of research problem and topic. Then on the basis of the initial review of literature, the researcher has to finalize the research problem and to set the tentative research title. The research problem is to be represented in analytical and specific terms. Problem or topic should not be too wide or too narrow. It must be sufficient to conduct a research. It should be suitable for the academic background, that means for which the research is undertaken. That means a topic selected in a commerce subject must be suitable to the academic background of commerce. Availability of time, money, and other resources must also be considered. That means the problem or topic should not be too wide. That means our time, available time, money, and other resources must be considered before selecting a research topic. Then formulation of a problem. Selected problem should be translated or transformed into a scientific research question or questions. We have to translate or transform these problem into research questions. It is concerned with specifying what actually the research problem and why it is studied. It involves the development of a title, then define the objectives of the study, then work out the conceptual model, etc. Then the fifth step, extensive literature review. In order to gain the background knowledge of the research topic and to find out the exact research gaps, the researcher has to review the literature. All kinds of relevant literature such as books, articles, source materials, encyclopedia, latest publications, selected research theses, bibliographies of research reports, online information, reports of agencies, published and unpublished, etc. are to be reviewed by the researcher. It's called a review of literature or extensive review of literature. Then what are the purposes of a review of literature? First one, to gain preliminary orientation and background knowledge about a problem. Second one, to gain up-to-date knowledge. We have to review literature to get up-to-date knowledge in the subject. Then to know the work already done on the topic or related topic, we have to understand what are the works done in the subject or related subjects. Then to identify the research gaps in the field. That means what has done, then what is to be done. Then to avoid the duplication of work. Duplication of work is to be avoided. It can be avoided only through the review of literatures properly. To get an idea about the research methodology, that means we can understand the methods, tools, analysis techniques, and reporting formats for our research through reviewing this literature. Then sixth step in the process of research is formulation of hypothesis. What is a hypothesis? A hypothesis is a tentative assumption or proposition about the population. It is a tentative assumption made about the population. It is a tentative generalization, the validity of which remains tested. It is called tentative or provisional because it is a generalization or theory taken from a previous study or from our experience, the validity of which remains tested. Some type of research does not need hypothesis. For example, a mere fact-finding investigation by using census survey. Then there is no need of hypothesis for a fact-finding investigation by using a census survey. But inferential statistics such as testing hypothesis is required to make inferences about the population by using samples. But if we want to study about the population by using the samples taken from it, we need hypothesis. Then we have to test the hypothesis. Then only we can make inferences about the population from sample. It is made to draw out and test its logical and empirical consequences. So these hypotheses are made to draw out and test its logical and empirical effects and consequences. Then seventh one, preparation of research design. It is a comprehensive plan of the series of operations that a researcher intends to carry out to accomplish the research objective. A research design is a comprehensive plan of action for the research. It is a blueprint of the proposed research. It is a conceptual structure within which the research is conducted. It is a conceptual structure within which we have to conduct the research. It specifies the objectives of the study, the methodology, and the techniques to be adopted for achieving the goal. It prescribes the boundaries of our work. It specifies the objectives of the study. All the work should be conducted in accordance with this objective, the methodology of the study, and the techniques to be adopted for achieving the goals of the research. It prescribed the boundaries for the research work and gives a direction to the study. If there is no research design, our research will be aimless. Then research design provides boundaries for the research work. Eighth step is the preparation of sample design. It is a definite plan for obtaining a sample from a given population. It is the blueprint of the sample selection. Sampling design refers to the technique or the procedure the researcher would adopt in selecting item as sample. It is the technique or procedure of selecting sample from the population. The researcher can use either probability or non-probability sampling methods. There are two types of sampling methods, probability sampling or non-probability sampling. The researcher can use either probability or non-probability sampling based on the nature of the study. Deciding the sampling method, sampling unit, sample size, etc. are very important in research. It is not needed for census survey. In case of census survey, sampling design is not required. Then ninth one, collection of data and execution of the project. It is the one of the most important steps in the research process. The required data is to be collected from different sources. The data required for the research is to be collected from different sources. Primary data and secondary data are to be collected. Primary data is the data which is collected for the first time, or it is collected by the researcher for his objectives. But the secondary data is the data which is collected by somebody else for their purpose. Both primary and secondary data can be used for research. Different methods such as observation, interview, experimentation, survey, etc. can be used to collect primary data. So the methods of collecting primary data are observation, interview, experimentation, survey, etc. Various tools such as questionnaires, inventory schedules, etc. can be used for collecting primary data. Then secondary data can be collected from both published and unpublished sources. Secondary data is available from published sources and unpublished sources. We can rely both published and unpublished sources for secondary data. Then next one is the analysis of data. In order to analyze the data collected, it should be edited, coded, classified, and tabulated first. The analysis of data starts from editing, coding, classification, and tabulation. We have to edit the data collected. Then we have to code the data by suitable numbers. Then we have to classify and tabulate the data in proper formats. It can be done with the help of a statistical software. Then statistics and quantitative techniques can be used to analyze the data. Data can be analyzed manually or can be analyzed with the help of statistical and quantitative techniques. Then descriptive and analytical statistics may be used to analyze data. Descriptive statistics is used to describe the data. Analytical statistics are used to make inferences from the population by using samples. Then ratios, percentages, graphs, coefficient of correlation, regression, ANOVA, etc. can be used to analyze the data. It will be discussed in detail later. Statistical software packages such as MS Excel, SPSS, R, etc. are available to analyze the data. Testing of hypothesis is the next step in the research process. It is the process under which a statistical hypothesis is tested and then accepted or rejected. If we have formulated a hypothesis, then we have to test this hypothesis statistically to accept or reject the hypothesis. The test conducted to accept or reject a hypothesis is known as testing of hypothesis. Parametric and non-parametric tests are used according to the normality of the data. If the data is normal, we can use parametric test. Then if the data is not normal, then we have to adopt non-parametric test to test the hypothesis. The commonly used statistical tests are Z-test, T-test, chi-square test, and F-test. Tests help the researcher to make inferences about the population with the help of sample data. We can make inferences about the population with the help of sample data only through inferential statistics such as testing of hypothesis. Then 12th one, generalization and interpretation. After testing hypothesis, the researcher will be able to arrive at generalization about the population. The researcher is able to formulate theories about the population. The researcher has to prepare his findings, suggestions, and conclusions on the basis of the analysis of data and testing of hypothesis. It should be justified with the objectives set earlier. It is very important in research. All the findings and recommendations must be in accordance with the objectives set earlier. It should be based on proper evidences collected under study. All the findings and suggestions must be based on the evidences collected as part of the study. That means there must be supporting evidences for each and every findings and recommendations. The last step in the process of research is the preparation of research report or thesis. It is the final stage of the research process. The researcher has to prepare a research report which indicates what he has done and how it is proved. The research report is a communication to the outside parties that what he has done through his research and how it is proved. That means how things are proved. It is the formal statement of the research process and its results. So it includes the research process. That means what are the formalities or what are the procedures adopted to conduct the result and what are the results. It is to be prepared in specific formats. Specific formats and procedures are prescribed by different authors for conducting research in different fields. It narrates the problem studied, method used for the study, research gaps, findings, suggestions, and conclusions. So the ingredients of a research reports are the problem, the research problem, then methods used for the study, that means the research methodology, then the research gap, then findings of the study, suggestions, then conclusion. The purpose of the report is to communicate the research work to others. The purpose of a research report or thesis is to communicate the research work and its outcome to the community or to the society. Thank you.